got a chance to check out the Netflix Raw. My boy DJ, we pulled you back into WWE.
So I guess I don't know about pulled.
I want to hear your opinion first. You know, Netflix Raw, the new era, like Triple H said, the Netflix era for WWE. Being somebody that's been away for over a decade and haven't seen really just a child of the Attitude Era. What did you take from it? What's your opinion?
I mean, I thought initially the montage video, like just automatically the storytelling, and it automatically made me fall briefly back in love with wrestling and what I missed about it. But then that to me that was the best part of the show. When Brock came out, I don't think that was expected, and I was watching it on like Stream East. So this nigga was like glowing. This nigga was like Tron, like the Tron videos in Disney. He was like glowing for whatever reason. When he paused, it was crazy. So then I didn't like the fact of like him panning over to like the Netflix people, like kind of glazing them. I didn't like that part of it. Like the introduction, like who's taking over and things like that's corny to me. But I understand like the pageantry of it, right? It's like it's gladiator sport, so to speak. So I get all that stuff. And then like when Hogan came out and they booed him, I was like, fuck you, Hogan.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like all the emotions of like the ebbs and flows of the actual show was super dope. The matches, they were okay. I felt like leading up to the fights, I thought I maybe wanted to see like maybe a no holds bar between Seth Rollins and CM Punk possibly, or something like Iron Man match. You know what I mean? The showcase who's that dude. The Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. I don't think it was that exciting to me. I don't even know the chick's name. Reigns and was it Becky Lynch?
Rhea Ripley.
Right.
Rhea Ripley.
But I mean, overall, how did you feel about it?
I thought it was a smooth show.
Could you see yourself coming back and watching?
I need to see more of it.
Okay.
And I think the when Taker came out on the motorcycle,
pointless.
It wasn't pointless. It's like passing the torch, so to speak. She could be the female Undertaker.
Ooh.
Like she can kind of go on this reign of like
what? So
I'm just how I'm thinking about it.
Before we go any further, I appreciate your opinion. I'm gonna tell you why.
Don't shut me down.
No, I'm not shutting you down.
Yeah,
I'm not shutting you down.
It's actually
this thing's a hater, bro.
It's the opposite. No, hold on. It's the opposite. You was talking Cash Money Millionaire shit, right?
When
about this era of WWE.
It is duty.
And I thought I did a good job of selling you on what the new era, the Netflix era, was gonna be, right? And I mean, we saw a lot of curse and things like that.
Yeah.
But
Travis
to hear you speak, Travis Scott smoking a blunt on there.
Yeah.
But to hear you speak so positively about what you experienced, that just tells me that we're definitely going to WrestleMania this year. So, Chase, give us your perspective. Well, how'd you feel?
That's a good one. Manifest that shit.
The production, amazing, right? The hoopla, great. Now, when we get into the nitty gritty of everything, blah, for me, right? It felt like a little too sugary for me, even though they had hardcore matches and everything. Faces won every match.
Yes.
And it was just like, really? We're doing that? We're really doing that.
So the female Taker, she's
So, all right. Now, all respect, he's new to this. He's new.
See I did that? You see I did that, sir?
He's new. He's new to this era. So give him a moment, all right?
Nah, hold on.
But I have a question.
Why would Taker come out with her if she's not passing the torch?
We all questioning that.
That wasn't Undertaker.
That was American
Badass.
And she has a fat ass. So that's why he came out.
And he was passing the torch to her as the new American Badass.
Even though she's Australian.
Well, you know what?
But that's not her. She's just,
I get you.
Yeah.
I mean, Kofi Kingston was a Jamaican nigga.
Or you want to say just the new badass, whatever.
Yes.
But my question to you is, do you feel like you kind of like, all right, this is the very first episode, and they emphasize we're showing this to the world, right?
Which is true.
So when you're in cell mode, right? The pilot episode, right? Hear me out now. Hold on. When you're in your pilot episode, the purpose of a pilot is to do what? To pull as many viewers in as possible.
And
right?
I understand that.
So before we get into deep storytelling, we want to be able to sell a product to a customer that
To the masses.
want to come back and watch it again.
Yeah.
And I understand
The
that.
trailer.
And I understand.
You got it.
The montage
trailer.
at the
I
beginning.
understood.
The montage
why
at the beginning you
faces
talking
won,
about?
Because these are the
encapsulating
guys
the entire
that
thing.
are known by everybody, right? I understood it. I get you, right? I would have been happier if Jey Uso would have lost, right? Because he has, like, Drew McIntyre has no business losing to that guy.
I feel that.
Okay, but
I
we
feel that.
we learned that
Yeah,
through storytelling,
which
right?
is true. So as far as the pilot episode, great production. As a wrestling fan, blah. If I'm coming in as a first-time wrestling fan, different story. I'd be like, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread, right? Because you had all the stars there. You had the good guys winning, like a movie.
But I get your point. I think you're speaking from it like they're not catering to you. They already have you. Their storytelling's already captured you.
My
That's
point.
what the montage came in.
My
for.
point.
Yeah.
I think now it's like just like when Lion King came out on 2D, now it's 3D, and now they have these different iterations. It's to capture a new audience.
Which is
That's
true.
what
Got
Disney
it.
does a great job
Okay.
at. So their storytelling, it was pageantry if you think about it.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Now here's where I'm looking at it from, right? Okay. The faces won. Now let's see where it really kicks into high gear now. Because we got Royal Rumble in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it's really going to kick into
You have
high
to have
gear.
the
And you know that's when they create the storylines too.
Let me finish.
You have to have the good guys win.
Let me finish.
Initially.
Not now.
Right? So I understood why they did it. Because Steve brought up a point, I think, last time, right? When we talked about WrestleMania, where it was, I don't know if it was off camera or on camera, I don't remember, when he said, I think this is going to be the first WrestleMania in a long time where it's a heel WrestleMania, right? I think we're headed towards that point
Yeah.
because it's the good guys win, great. Then Royal Rumble, guess what? I'm calling it the good guys win, right?
You heard it here first, run a point.
Right? Elimination Chamber, right? It's gonna go downhill. And then at WrestleMania, we're gonna see a shift. We have to see a shift, right?
That's it.
Like the
Okay.
CM Punk match,
Who's the biggest heel right now?
Dominic Mysterio, the
Is
New
that,
Day.
I'm saying, is that good? Who's going to pirate in this new?
Wait, when you say
Villain
when you
role.
give that example of the villain role, is it equivalent to like when Austin at WrestleMania 17 turned heel, like a Cody turning heel at WrestleMania?
I don't see the thing about it is I can't predict where they're going. Right?
Yeah, we got to keep
Yeah.
watching because there's one thing we haven't brought up, and I want to get your opinion on what you thought of the Netflix Raw. But there's one thing we haven't brought up, and that's the fact that this is John Cena's last year wrestling,
Oh,
and they're setting him up to be in the title match at WrestleMania.
yeah.
And so we get caught up in all the stories that they're telling, but in my opinion, watching Netflix, it seemed as if they were putting an end to all the stories that had been ongoing so they could start the new stories on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought the exact same thing because the results were opposite of what I thought they were going to be.
Right.
To continue the story with Roman and Solo into WrestleMania, they just ended it there. He got the Ulafala back. He's going to be in the Rumble. Story done. You see Jacob and what's his name? Tamatonga.
Tama. Oh, they're
And-
running
and-
roughshod on SmackDown.
Now it's with LA Knight. Now you kind of see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Right.
But overall, I thought the production was great. I was a little underwhelmed. I know this is nitpicking, but with the entrance area, I thought they could have done better
Well, I
overall.
think that's why they had the drones up there.
to
where
try
the
to.
drones were
Make it more worship.
making
Trying.
it more luscious as far as the spectacle of it all.
Right.
Right?
It was a spectacle.
Question.
It was a spectacle.
How come they did it at the Intuit Dome and not like the Staples Center or the Crypto.com Arena?
Because
Like just the history of like, you know what I'm saying? Like LA.
I think because the Intuit Dome is just
Just newer.
new. I think.
Got you. only for the pageantry of it all. Like you're in a historic building, you know what I mean? Like I feel like you don't do that in like an older build or a newer building.
It could
It's
have been
nostalgia too, huh?
It could have been money related also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
gotcha.
at the end of the day, it's always entertainment, but it's business first.
Yeah.
So we see John Cena. He comes out. We know that the big thing right now is him breaking the record and having the title, holding the title more times than any wrestler in wrestling history. Right. So that's the story he's going to play in his final year.
Do you want to see that?
Now
that
that's
he's
the
older?
question.
Because he's older now.
So what I thought WWE did a good job of was killing all the stories and kind of leaving us like, dang, what's getting ready to happen next, right? So the first thing that they did, and a lot of people didn't notice it, The Rock walked in as a face, not a heel.
Yeah.
And the last time we saw The Rock, the last 10 times we saw The Rock, he was straight up heel.
Here's my
Over
question
Cody.
about that. This is what I thought about. Right? Not to cut you off, and I
Mm-hmm.
apologize. He bigged up Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I like that.
So after
like that?
WrestleMania,
I did.
wait, after WrestleMania last year, Raw, he gave Cody Rhodes something, right? Then bigged him up and gave him a drink. Number 2 is he came out after Roman won the Ulafala, right? And I thought, oh, he's gonna clothesline the hell out of him.
I thought the same.
Right? I think we all thought that. Right? But they showed The Rock looking at Roman Reigns. Right? Now,
WrestleMania.
no, that's not where
You don't
I'm
think
going
so?
with this.
Oh no.
Right? I'm going where Steve started. What is Cody Rhodes' play in this? Right? Why are you bigging up Cody Rhodes? And why do you come out during Roman's match and just stare at him? You know?
But not to cut your wisdom off, but I feel like for me, like the shouting out the American Nightmare, it's just his journey up until that point.
Right.
He was like a journeyman, literally. Like he was so many different characters before he got put onto who he
I
is.
get
He had
you.
to go away to come back to a company that your dad was a legend in. You know what I'm saying? Like your brother's no slouch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's actually an answer to that. So the true answer to that is his movie Moana. Is it? That's what it's called, Moana.
Moana 2?
Yeah, The Rock's movie Moana has reshoots. So there was a story that was going to lead and kind of pull all these stories together going into WrestleMania with him as a wrestler again this year in WrestleMania. Moana has demanded reshoots, so he won't be available for WrestleMania.
Wow.
So they've kind of pulled him back into face mode. And the reason they pulled him back into face mode is because he actually is a board member. He's a part owner of the WWE company, right? And he's also a board member, and they kind of want him to be kind of like the face of WWE again as like an owner and kind of pull him out of the ring
That's fire.
and kind of get him to start doing some more behind the scenes things as the face of WWE on the back end. So because of that, that's why they wasn't immediate without like a real true storyline
That's
to
great
it.
retention.
Yes.
That's
So
great.
that's why they kind of pulled him like that.
Yeah.
But the door is still open for them to do that. But it wouldn't make sense for him to do that at the same time they're trying to put John Cena in
Which is
in
true.
the spotlight also. So one of the beautiful things about WWE and their storytelling right now is that it's outstanding.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
we're gonna see a story between now and WWE where John Cena is trying to figure out a way to get to the belt again. One last hoorah. And they announced, hey, he's going to be at WrestleMania. But what they also announced is that they put a bunch of posters up, and all the sales, all the marketing, and everything is showing for Elimination Chamber has John Cena's face on it. So why would John Cena's face be all over the promotion and marketing for Elimination Chamber if you already announced he's going to be in the Royal Rumble? Because the winner of either one, just so you know, gets a chance at the title at WrestleMania. So they're going to, and then they just announced that Roman Reigns is also going to be in Royal Rumble. So they're going to play, the storyline is going to be,
Those two.
it's almost impossible
Yeah,
for
but you gotta watch.
How hard is it going to be for John Cena to get a title
You
shot?
think it's gonna be? But will John Cena's run be like Booker T's run in like the
No,
Royal
no.
Rumble, where it's like
It's the
athleticism.
The difficulty of it is going to be in him getting a chance to get to the belt.
John Cena is in better physical shape than Booker T.
Yeah.
Booker T at that time had not been wrestling for years at that point.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if John Cena goes to the Royal Rumble and loses.
Yeah.
He will.
Right?
So.
He's not going to win.
And then, they're playing. Well,
Why can't
he's
he win?
going to be in the. He's going to wrestle for a title at WrestleMania.
Now, who's he going against?
But it doesn't have to go through the
that's
Rumble.
That's the interesting part, right? Who is he going against? Because there's 2 titles out there. We got Cody Rhodes and we have Gunther. So ideally, because the flagship title is the Cody Rhodes title, and this guy's going for his last hurrah, you would think it would be that one, right? But then he would have to hold the title and then at some point lose that title. Mm-hmm. So we got Cody Rhodes and John Cena, possibly. That would mean he would have to win the Royal Rumble. However, if he loses the Royal Rumble, he goes to Elimination Chamber, he now has to beat 5 other guys with 5 powerful storylines just like his. And if he does overcome that, then he fights Gunther. Now, if he takes the belt from Gunther,
I don't think
that's not the same belt as the flagship, but I mean, it is a world title belt. It tells a better story than him just winning the Royal Rumble.
You have him win that belt if you want to raise the level of that belt as well.
Yes.
You don't need to win the undisputed.
And then the other story that they already started telling, and a lot of us haven't realized it, is CM Punk's story.
There we go.
Did you see that interview after he beat my dude?
That is the clear answer for me, right? Because there's history. WWE has been playing on history for the last couple of years. Talking about history of CM Punk, talking about the history of a lot of these stars. The money match, for me, is not Seth versus CM Punk. It is not Gunther versus CM Punk. It is John Cena versus CM Punk. Main eventing night 1.
Rematch of the pipe bomb.
Yes. Right? They beefed that whole year until Dewey came back. Right? And it became CM Punk versus The Rock. Not CM Punk versus The Rock. John Cena versus The Rock. Right? That is the match. Right? It's the one that makes the most sense to me.
I didn't even think about that, to be honest. I didn't think they were going to cross paths.
Why not? Now, then you got Gunther. Gunther's going to retire Goldberg. That's what's going to happen at WrestleMania. So, I'm with you, Steve, on that aspect.
Why does that make
Johnson.
sense? Why does that? Why would you just came up with? Why does that make sense?
Because
With
they
that
already
direction of the company.
they planted the seeds already.
They planted the seeds.
No, I'm asking.
Okay, so
catch me up.
let's talk about
Like,
John Cena and CM Punk. Me and Steve have had this conversation about CM Punk being in the main event picture of WrestleMania because he has never main evented.
It's not just me and him. Yeah. That's the story that CM Punk came into WWE for his new run, Survivor Series the year before last. That was his story. So everyone has a story why they're
coming back.
Yeah, I love him coming back. I think he's been outstanding. Yeah. Okay. I think the quality of matches have improved because he's there.
Yeah.
So going back to the whole thing. Is Gunther good?
Gunther's great.
Okay.
Right?
Who is he compared to old school wise? Like who could you compare?
I mean, his whole shtick is old school, if you want to be honest.
No, I'm saying, does he remind you of anyone?
Maybe Harley Race?
Oh boy, then he's trash.
No, but the thing about it is, it's hard hitting. It's just like old school wise. If we're talking about somebody,
William Regal,
no,
well, he's a
throwback, but he's new.
He's a throwback heel, but like a foreign heel.
Gotcha.
Like you know, like your evil Russian type of guy.
Yeah.
Right, but very what do they call Shinsuke?
He
what do they call his
really
style?
Stiff.
What's the style
really
called?
Strong style.
Strong style. So strong style is like where it's hard hitting. usually, you see some color.
belts,
Yeah.
yeah.
you see some color or
It's
some
tough.
whelps.
It's
So he's
hard.
like Sheamus,
Like
almost?
hardcore Holly. Like
that
he's
rough. Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If I could compare him to somebody new, it'd be like a slower Chris Benoit
I like that.
as far as his aggression and whatnot,
Yeah.
but not the same moveset.
Is he good? Like being a character?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's his
Oh,
best
yeah.
part.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's probably lost like what, over 100 pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks great.
Looks apart.
Okay. So you like him as a champion? Okay.
He's the
Deservingly
perfect.
so.
He's the perfect
He's
antithesis to
held,
Cody.
He held the IC title the longest
Yeah.
ever.
Like,
So
why are they doing that
he
lately?
earned
Why
Why are they having these long range champions?
You got to
Because
build up the
storytelling.
quality.
Better storytelling.
it makes the title more important,
Yeah.
Right.
right? So you look at
Without going too deep.
Yeah. Pause.
Yeah.
it makes the
But it
title
depends
more
on who it's on as well.
If the title is just go over like a 10-year scape of the title. If the title sits on 5 to 6 people in a span of 10 years,
Got you.
how much more prestige is now on that belt than passing
no.
it out like Skittles?
It depends on who it's on, though. Not just.
That
It
too.
depends on who it's on.
But
you can't
that's-
just have
that's
it
the
on.
So you
idea
like
behind
both
it.
of these guys. You like Cody as your champion and Gunther as your champion.
You see what I'm
whatnot?
saying?
No, I'm saying I'm asking.
yeah, you
No,
build around
absolutely.
them.
So there's a lot of there's a lot of stories out here that are gonna kind of come to a head, right?
Gotcha.
I think that we make it. What do you think? There's gonna be a faction that kind of walks away from this, like an unseen faction. We're seeing similarities between KO, between Drew McIntyre,
And Seth
between Seth Rollins.
I think they're gonna be a
Like,
faction.
They're all like the.
Yeah.
I can't believe Cody loves Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns can never hold the title. So we're gonna do whatever we can to keep Roman Reigns and save wrestling.
One of those three is going to be the reason why Roman is out of the Rumble.
Oh, definitely.
One of
Now,
those three.
My
pick
issue,
is Drew.
My only issue with that idea, that every heel for the most part is in a faction.
Is that too much?
It's just like,
It is OD when everybody.
But the three we just mentioned are not.
or not.
They might be within their own though.
Huh.
The faction against Roman.
Yeah. So,
I can see that.
and I did pop when KO came out and stunned Roman. I was like, yeah, let's get it. You know? I like, it was the moment of the night. That's another thing I didn't like, right? It was the same match that they did at WrestleMania,
Exact.
right?
So
It was the same
Exact
match.
same match.
With Cody and Roman, but this time you switch Cody for
So you're
Roman.
saying like the bloodline rules?
Yeah, and it was the same setup.
all the interference and everything,
It was
the
the same setup.
false counts.
Okay,
it was
but
exactly.
I think the surprising part about it this time was the second run-in, because the second run-in was the KO Cody run-in.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one saw that happening.
I didn't see KO. come
Yeah,
in.
no one saw KO. It makes sense because he
Yeah.
hates Roman. And his whole thing this whole time has been about Roman. But when he actually showed up in the ring, I said I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And then obviously Cody and him have this beef. So that makes sense and they get out of there. But even to that point, I didn't expect such a clean finish at the end.
I did not expect that either.
Right. I expected
what fight?
something else. That's for the Roman,
Roman
solo
versus Solo.
fight.
I thought Solo was gonna go over, to be honest.
Okay.
All day, I thought it was
So
gonna
the
go
first
over.
fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was it was good.
But nevertheless, I mean,
alright.
I still think there's a lot of storytelling to be told there. We saw a couple things on SmackDown after, but not anything that's really like getting us to like get a clearer view.
What's your favorite for each one of you guys? What's your favorite match of the night? What was your favorite?
So that was my next thing. Like
Okay.
my favorite match of the night would have probably been the CM Punk match. I thought that was a really good
I
match.
think that was the worst one. To me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to.
Why?
I don't know. I just
You weren't invested, or
maybe like the build up didn't match. Like the build up to it, the match didn't meet the build up.
So the build-up's been about 18 months.
So then it
So
lost me. Like,
Alright,
why
so-
not develop? Like, why not Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Iron Man? You know what I'm saying? Like the storytelling. If y'all hate each other this much,
This
and
could
if
be
you've
the
been
first
away-
of many. If
Well,
you want to
DJ
be
But
honest.
it wasn't. I don't want to see the sequel. I don't know.
So DJ, just to,
Okay.
so Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels,
Yep.
they wrestled as tag teams when they were tag teams, right? They wrestled 1-on-1 for the IC belt. Then they wrestled for the world title.
Yep.
They wrestled a lot before they got to that Iron Man match.
I'm just
Right?
saying. But
So
go ahead.
So Seth Rollins and CM Punk, this was their very first match.
It wasn't
One on one though.
At 1-on-1. Number 2 is you can't shoot your whole load out on the first match,
And it's not even a PLE.
right?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's
Oh, pay per view. That's what That's a term nowadays.
Yeah. So you can't shoot.
No.
your-
I'm just giving you an FYI. That's it.
You can't shoot your first load because this is their first meeting.
But
Right.
I'm not saying that, but make it exciting. It wasn't exciting to me.
To you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to recapture
As
old
somebody
heads,
that's seen several of these already, right?
yeah.
Like you've seen the build up. You watch Survivor Series. You've seen Seth call him a cancer and all this stuff and how personal it's gotten to this point. Did you feel any type of impact or energy or anything watching the match or leading up to the match and then when they actually wrestled?
I felt
Did you-
that last promo sold the match to me. Number 2, watching the match, I'm going to be honest, I had it playing peripheral for me
Okay.
while I was doing other things.
Uh-huh.
Because the overall event of it, after the first match, I was like, okay, this is what it is.
This is how you're
Then I
gonna
would-
start it off?
Then I would check in.
you were checked out the entire time.
Check in. No, I was listening to
Okay.
it
I'm saying you
and
wasn't-
paying attention.
Got you.
But I would check in, and then, all right, check in, all right. But nothing really held my attention for too long, except for that first match. I didn't really watch the women's match. I didn't watch the Drew and
Jey Uso.
Jay match. Like, I paid attention to it, like peripherally. And then the
CM Punk, Seth
CM
Rollins.
Punk match, I was just like, okay, all right, this is what it is, you know, this is where we're going. And then
Thought for sure Drew was gonna win.
I
Thought for sure he was gonna win.
Why didn't he win? Because you just
Because
want all the
it's-
good guys to win.
because, like Steve said, it's ending certain stories.
Yeah.
The Drew Jay or the Drew Bloodline story, that's continuing, right?
How?
Because Jay got
Jay got a
he got
cheap
the win over him. He got the win.
Right? He got a cheap win over somebody who's better, meaner, stronger,
Got it.
faster.
Got it.
Right? The CM Punk Seth story, that's going to continue. The Solo Roman story, that's a done deal. But then you got to wonder what's going on with Solo. He wasn't there. On
Coming back the 17th, they said.
Roman's going to be on the
No,
17th.
Roman's the 28th. Solo's on the 17th.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So there's stories that still need to be told,
Okay.
right?
Like, why not? Okay. Like, why not when a nigga's coming out, attack him in the leading up to the ring? You know what I'm saying? Like, just
That
making
could,
something
that could be coming down the line, but it's not.
Too late.
It's not too
but
late.
This
is.
is the first show.
It's
You
timing,
gotta-
though,
and you gotta
yeah.
look at
That's
it.
exactly my point. That's why you do it. It's the first show. And it's your first match against each other. Like, why
Because-
not?
Nah, you could do it on any show. You just want to set.
Nah.
You
It's
set the
just-
tone.
Bust motherfucking head open, like,
It's the spectacle of it all,
down the
right? It was a spectacle.
Runway.
It was still number one. It was still number one.
the match.
No,
Rated overall.
Raw on overall.
Yeah,
Raw on Netflix. It was
worldwide.
still number one.
It's a spectacle
Yeah.
of it all. You're trying to grab people in,
Like,
right?
And they
Do
got
those
him.
things happen?
They
Yes,
got 'em.
they happen.
what's that? Guts?
Like people running in and, hitting people from
But
behind,
DJ,
things
to your
like that.
DJ, to your point though, it has to happen at the perfect time. Like it has
Yeah.
to mean something nowadays. Like you can't just do it just to do it.
I'm saying I felt like it was a perfect time with the promo and everything like that.
Well, if the promo he's
If I hate
talking
this
about,
nigga so
you're
much-
talking about the promo before.
Yes.
So there was a promo where they're in each other's faces
Yeah,
talking.
in the ring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the promo Chase is talking about. And that was like kind of like the one that kind of set the stage for what's getting ready to happen. So it wouldn't make sense for somebody to get a cheap shot at that point because they pretty much set even grounds for each other. It was like, I respect you, but I don't respect you type of thing. So when we went into the match, we were expecting like a toe-to-toe. We didn't expect anybody to run in or interfere. Yeah. Chase actually thought it was going to be a draw. He thought there was going to be something that like kind of stopped the match. But nothing like that actually happened. I think the most surprising part of the match was that CM Punk actually won the match clean.
And they botched
Did you see
moves.
CM Punk's little promo afterwards?
Yeah, I did.
Calling out everybody on his high
Did
horse.
you see that?
I thought that was fire.
So he shot a promo after
yeah.
that didn't hit the it didn't show up on the Netflix live, but you can see it online. And he called out some people by name.
Everybody, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, it was on fire.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Seth Rollins guy, but even I was like, all right, CM Punk, I fuck with you with that.
Yeah, and he shouted out TNA also, so that was pretty cool.
You know what they're doing with TNA
So
over there.
here's the thing, right? With Seth is one of those guys I could do with or do without. He's that damn good in the ring, but I could do without him just as easily.
Wow.
You know what's crazy?
Right?
No, you know what's crazy? CM said the same thing in an interview where he was like, Seth is a killer in the ring, but all the antics, all the dressing up, I could do without. Like, if he's just the wrestler, just Seth, that's what I want.
Why did he change this character?
Seth freaking Rollins?
Yeah.
That's who he is now?
Vince McMahon. Vince.
Is that?
Vince
changed him?
Vince was like,
changed
yo,
him, but
you're
that's-
Seth freaking
that's
Rollins.
Him, though, too, to a certain
That's
degree.
true. No, that is
But
true.
The reason,
The terrible dresser?
and this is
Yes.
Like super flamboyant.
Terrible.
super.
Drip God?
Right.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Drip
Drip
God?
God.
Yeah.
And the thing with the Shield, me and Steve had this conversation a few years ago. I could have did without all of them. Without all of them. I said this to you, right?
Yeah, like, what's
all
the
of them.
name?
Not Drew, Dean
Dirty
Ambrose.
Deeds? Yeah, Dirty Deeds.
All of them.
That was my nigga.
The only one who is must-see
What?
TV
What?
is Roman Reigns. Right? And I never expected Roman Reigns to be must-see TV. Right?
Exactly my point.
Like Seth Rollins, for me, he's the workhorse of the WWE. Right? He's not going to get the respect he needs or he deserves until he is gone. And that's the awful part because he's good. He's really good.
He's really good. He's
Right?
amazing.
He's really good.
He's great.
Yeah.
Right?
He's nice.
But he's been a transitional champion every single time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why?
so do you no. So do you think he's stuck in that company guy role? Like, if we got to do something, we could kind of depend on you to
Definitely.
get somebody over, or
Definitely.
put the title on you for now, and then
Definitely.
okay.
He's not the guy who's gonna
He's
run
not
the show.
He's not the Shawn Michaels,
Right.
Bret
Yeah.
Hart.
Who was the main guy when he won the first world championship? Who's the main guy? The main heel when he won his first world championship. He was the heel.
He was the
But
heel, yeah.
Who was the main heel?
Was it Brock?
No, it was not Brock. It was one Paul Levesque, Triple H.
The Authority.
They fought each other, right?
No,
They
Right?
fight each other?
he had him working for him though.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
That's where he adopted the pedigree.
Right?
That's why he uses it so often. Yeah.
Then when he beat Brock again, was anybody like, oh yeah, it's Seth Rollins?
He nice
Not
though.
really.
Wait,
He
was it
nice,
because
though.
it was a triple threat with Brock and Roman? Because he didn't beat Brock 1-on-1.
No, he didn't.
No.
Right? So the thing about it is he's the guy who comes in and fills in the gaps when somebody gets
If
hurt.
we need you here, we're gonna
Yes.
put
He's
in
a-
Seth
he's a glue
Rollins.
guy?
Yes.
He's the workhorse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
He's a glue.
That's fair.
Like,
Okay.
But you need people like that.
you definitely do.
Yeah.
So, quick question for everybody. Everybody, 2-part question. Your pick for Royal Rumble and your surprise entrance. We'll start with you, Serge.
My pick for the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
To win it all, you're saying?
Yeah.
Women's or men's?
Men. We're talking about
Men's? Shit. You know what? I'll go with John Cena.
John Cena wins
I'll go
Royal
with John
Rumble.
Cena with John.
Who's your surprise entrance?
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
To begin the program with Gunther.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
All right. What about you, DJ?
I don't know enough for the surprise.
Any old school guy.
Okay. Damn, I don't know. I would say Braun Breaker winning the Rumble.
Oh, winning the Rumble. Okay.
Yeah. And then
Ooh, good choice.
That's different.
Okay.
Way different.
fucking Big Papa Pump. Fuck it.
Ooh, I would love that too.
He's
still
staying,
wrestling,
no,
too.
He's staying in line though. I like that. I like that.
What about you, Chase? What we got?
So, Roman Reigns
Whack.
to win. Only because of the rubber match,
Uh huh.
right?
What's the rubber? Who's that?
Cody.
Cody.
Okay.
Sheesh. Special guest? That Goldberg one is a strong one.
Yeah.
That is good.
That's a strong one. I'll go with Hornswoggle.
Okay.
Who the fuck is that?
The
Oh,
little midget.
yeah.
the dwarf, man.
For me, I'm gonna. This guy's out of control. Most out of control.
All day.
To win the Royal Rumble, I'm probably gonna go with CM Punk.
Okay.
I'll go CM Punk to win it because he came in second place last year.
Okay.
And then surprise Pentagon. What's his name? Pentagon.
Pentagon.
Showing up next week. This week.
Who is that? Who is he?
Possibly.
Did you
They
see that
teased-
horrible
they
setup?
teased him.
Oh yeah, it was
That
awful.
horrible
is he a
setup.
big- Is he a big guy?
No,
No.
his regular size, but he's nasty.
I mean, he's a
Like, what is
cruiserweight.
He's like a luchador, but like extreme, like a tall Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a monster.
Yeah.
Dope.
And he
Yeah.
wrestles
He wears a
hardcore
mask?
matches.
Sick mask
Yeah, with face paint.
with face paint.
That might
Yeah.
be my guy.
Yeah. He's dope.
Okay.
So instead of Hornswoggle, Joe Hendry.
Okay.
Who's that?
Oh,
Joe Henry,
You say his name and he appears. You know, the new age, real new Undertaker.
Nah,
You
they've
say
been
his
trying to
name,
have TNA. Okay, so
Yeah.
I think that's a great pick. That's a great pick.
And then,
Well, he's from TNA. Okay.
and then we're not even talking about the Noah connection, but we'll talk about that next time.
Next time.
For sure.
All right.
So make sure you like and subscribe.
And all that. This is Running Point, and we out.
Here we go.
Peace.
We out.